Hello and welcome back to the Powerplay Pools Poolcast.
It is Tuesday, November 24th, 2014.
I'm Patrick Watson. I'll be your host for the Poolcast today. Thank you very much for sticking with us. Obviously, we didn't put out many Poolcasts over the course of the summer months. It's obviously because we were very busy installing new pools and servicing existing pools. So thank you for joining us again. I hope to be able to put out a few more Poolcasts between now and when we start work again in the springtime. And I'm joined today by Corey Foster, Chief Pool Installer from Powerplay Pools. How are you doing today, Corey?
Not too bad. Patrick, yourself?
Oh, pretty good, thanks. I know we've been talking in the last couple of days about feedback that we received from our clients. And obviously the biggest one is that those who do listen to the Poolcast, they love what we have to share, but they actually want to know the stages that we go through to actually construct a pool. They ask us, can you walk us through how do we get from a blank slate in my backyard to my kids doing a cannonball? So how do we take a couple minutes there tonight and actually go through the steps about how they get their pool?
Okay, not a problem.
Sure. So where do we start?
Well, the first thing that I like to do, Patrick, is, depending on the shape of the pool, and I think that has a lot to do with you and all that with the design process, but one of the first things I like to do is, depending on the shape, like let's say it's a rectangle, then we want to make sure that we lay the pool out, paint it out on the ground, and that layout is either square to the house, square to the fence, wherever the designer has determined it to be positioned. We need to find that out first. So, obviously before we start digging. So, from there we move on and proceed with the dig. We excavate the pool, depending on how deep the pool is. Generally, most diving pools are 8 feet deep.
Now, Corey, let me just stop you there and ask, why is 8 foot depth the recommended depth for the diving pool? Why not 6 feet?
Well, it depends. Basically the smallest pool, without custom designing it too much, the smallest pool you'll go with that's legally a diving pool would be a 1632, so 32 feet in length. So that would mean you'd have an 8-foot shallow end, 14-foot slope down to the deepest part. You'd only have 6 feet of 8 feet deep, and then it comes back up to the back deep end wall. So I know that sounds confusing, but essentially to have an 8-foot depth pool, you need that 14-foot slope, which is from the shallow end down to the deep end. So you don't want it too steep. If let's say it was 10 or 11 feet, that would actually make that slope a lot steeper, which in turn becomes more dangerous for diving purposes. So,
right, because basically
the more shallow slope is important.
Yeah, but because basically we don't want people diving into their pool and hitting their head on the slope, right?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people say, well, I want my pool 10 feet deep. I'm like, well, if you're going to be 40 or 45 feet long, that's not a problem at all. I said, when you start to get in deeper depths, you have steeper slopes. So you just have to be careful with the way you dig them.
Absolutely. Now, that's the pool dig. What about the next stages? We install the pool walls, but what do they do after the walls are installed?
Well, installing the walls is generally the most important thing. You want to make sure your heights are proper, the pool is completely level and square to wherever it needs to be, as well as square to itself. And then the footings get poured around the outside of the pool, concreted.
Now, Corey, let me just pause for a minute and ask you. So,
yeah.
What's the importance of the footings?
Well, the footing now is going to solidify the shell of the pool. So the shell of the pool then is essentially set. That is going to be where your pool sits and where it stays forever. So, pouring a good solid footing, lots of concrete around the outside, is very important. As long as everything's done properly and it's level and you're on a solid base. So, so that's that step, and then we move on after that to plumbing and backfilling. And then, so that's where we run all your lines, depending on water feature lines, lights, obviously your line to your skimmer and your return jets. All those lines are run back to where the pool equipment's going to be located. And then And then the backfilling continues. We finish backfilling and prepare for either whatever hardscape they're doing, either concrete, landscaping, or interlock. So up to that point, we generally wait until those processes are done, and then we move on to grouting the bottom of the pool.
Right, and people have asked me, okay, yes, I can picture you guys doing the grout in the pool, but how do you get out of the pool once you finish the grouting, and what are the touch-ups that need to be done?
Well, grouting a pool, I mean, we always obviously start from the shallow end and work your way down. It's much easier to work down a slope than it is to work coming backwards up a slope. So then we just we exit out of the pool via a ladder, and the next day after everything's hardened, we're able to just patch up the holes from the ladder down at the bottom and clean everything up, duct tape all the joints, and we're ready for liner.
Okay, that's perfect. So at this stage, we have the grouting done in the bottom of the pool. The surround is prepared for either concrete, decorative stamped concrete, or interlocking stone. So after that, the liner goes in. So describe how that liner actually goes in, and how do you make sure you don't have any wrinkles or gaps?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, digging the pool, preparing the grout, doing the grouting, those are important steps in ensuring that the liner fits properly, and depending on the dig spec that the customer approves before the process even begins. So the customer will approve a dig spec and depths and everything. So we actually make the pool exactly to those specs, so that when the liner comes in, dropping it in is not an issue whatsoever. So we've put lots of liners in and haven't had any problems. So, but yeah, that's the final step, and generally the happiest step for the customer, because they're able to jump in the pool that day.
Well, exactly, because then after the liner's in, the water's in the pool pretty quickly thereafter. But we should also know too that before we add water to the pool, the fence is installed. So if they already have a fence, that's fine. If they're looking to have a new fence, that's installed before the liner and water are put in the pool, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So the fence has to be inspected and approved before the water can go in. So I sort of skipped that step. But as far as building the pool goes, those are basically the steps. Obviously, there's a lot of moving parts that are going along with this project. I mean, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think that's it in terms of the pool itself. And obviously, we do make quite a mess getting in and getting out. There's no two ways about that. And, typically we offer to sod or reseed, but obviously we want to be upfront and honest with our clients, say that, yeah, we do create what I like to call a cow's path, and then that has to be remediated one way or the other, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of times some homeowners would like to take that job on themselves. Obviously, we obviously do the best we can to clean up, but if it's part of our contract to actually clean everything up, because realistically, we do have to have access to the yard with our equipment and so on. So, there is generally a bit of a mess to clean up.
Well, that was great, Corey. Thanks again for joining us, and I hope you have a great week.
Sounds good, Patrick. Thanks to you, and you too.
Thanks again. And thank you out there for listening. If you have any questions about a new pool installation or on servicing your existing pool, we can be reached through our website, powerplaypools.com, our Facebook page, or give us a call, 613-839-7675. The number again is 613-839-7675. Our store location is at 1148 March Road. We'd love to have you stop by, get your water tested, or just talk about your pool. I'm Patrick Watson. Thanks again, and have a great week.